By people-centric, it's probably the only piece of jargon that we've used in the service strategy. We've tried to keep it as plain language as possible. But people-centric really means that the starting point for any discussion about service delivery in an organisation should start with, what does the citizen want? What makes it easier for the citizen to access and transact business with the city? And that should be the starting point for any discussion about technology, about service processes, and how we deliver services. So that's really what we mean by citizen-centric, and we want to embed that in every aspect of the work of our organisation. I think the other components that a modern city needs in terms of e-services is a corporate-wide mandate. The city has been, and I'm sure most government organisations are the same, have been in the business of e-services for the past 5 or 6 years. So we have a number of e-services that are available online. We've been migrating services, but it's been on a very ad hoc basis. Divisions are involved in their own initiatives in terms of technology. You have little projects going on here and there. What the e-service strategy has done for us, I think, is brought all of those components together so that everybody is on the same path. We're all on the same road. An e-service strategy also provides a mechanism for an organisation to ensure that its governance procedures and practices support implementation, so that the way projects are funded, the way projects are evaluated, take a more strategic approach rather than division by division approach. And also, quite importantly, citizens tell us that they're not interested in government, they just want to get to their service. So our e-service strategy provides us with an opportunity and a springboard for cross-jurisdictional partnerships. So we're using this as the basis for conversations with the provincial government and the federal government for how we provide one single window access to services that cut across jurisdictions. There are a number of key benefits. So there's improved public access to services. Instead of having 250 different numbers that you could possibly call and hunting around for the right number, citizens now need only to remember 311. And that's the one number they can call 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year. And we've actually been surprised at how surprised citizens are that they can call and somebody answers the phone at 9 o'clock on a Sunday evening. So it has helped to build trust and confidence, I think, in city services. We can now resolve 70% and upwards of our calls at first point of contact. In terms of service expectations, citizens expect to get to the right place within 2 phone calls and 1 transfer. We're on the way to meeting that target. So in terms of citizens' expectations, those are some of the benefits. Oh, and we can also now give people a tracking number. So they can call, initiate a service request, they get a number, they can call back and find out what's happened and where their service is, and whether it's been fulfilled or whether it's in process, which is a key advancement really for us. The consolidation of the city's numerous call centres into one has presented efficiencies for the city, which is always a good thing in this economic climate that we're operating in. The other benefit, I think, for the city is our ability to report. We can now report out on, at a corporate level, on call centre metrics. We can report out on how long it takes for people to get through to the city, how long it takes to deal with a call, what kinds of calls we're getting, who we transfer calls to. And I think performance reporting is going to increase in importance in government. It's perhaps an area that we need to do more work on than some of the other areas. And I think the 311 contact centre has helped us to move in that direction, where we can report more authoritatively really on how well we're doing. And I think ultimately that's what it's all about. Some of the key achievements for the City of Toronto in the past 5 years is firstly the launch of its 311 contact centre, which we've talked about. Also, we've put almost 150 now services online in the past 5 years. So we're in the business of e-service. We have a long way to go. Almost only about 40% of those services are actually transactional. Many of them are informational or for PDF forms. So we know the direction that we need to move into. What we've also managed to do internally, which is key to success, I think, for e-service implementation, is we've managed to increase the size of the IT technology budget for e-service. And that's for IT projects that focus purely on citizen-facing services. And we've managed to increase that percentage of the budget from 13 million to 28 million in 1 year. And that's pretty significant, really. And the number of projects have increased, and that's sort of shifting the focus from improving back-end work management systems to putting services online that are transaction-based services. So those are some of the key achievements, I think, for us, as well as the development of an e-service strategic plan and an implementation plan that we've made great strides in the first year in terms of achieving some of the deliverables that we have. In terms of the city, I think we're looking at our work in 5-year increments. We're a pretty optimistic corporation, I think. So what we're hoping is that in 5 years, most of our routine high-volume transactions will be available online. What we're planning for is that citizens will be able to come through to the city, access city services through a number of different channels, the major channels, and they'll get a consistent service experience. What we're hoping that within 5 years, citizens will be able to create a system memory, a login, an account function with the city. So if they choose to, they can enter information only once. It'll get populated in the back end for a number of different programs that they want to access. And that will also enable citizens to do searches for the right services. But more importantly, I think, in terms of the technology potential, the corporation will also be able to push out information to individuals. Almost every year the city is involved in a key event. So over the past number of years, this year we had G20, we've had natural events like severe snowstorms, we've had SARS, we had a major blackout, energy blackout a number of years ago across the eastern seaboard in North America. All those significant events that affect the majority of citizens create, I think, potential for the city not to just be a reactive organisation that just responds to citizen stimuli, but also has a proactive relationship with its citizens where it not only informs them of things that are relevant to them, but it also uses this opportunity to educate its citizenry. And I think that's where the potential is for government, that really an e-service strategy creates a mechanism for government to be clearer in terms of and more focused in which services it provides to make sure they're relevant. It creates opportunities for us to be efficient and effective in providing services and saving money that we can divert to other areas. It enables us to be more categoric in terms of saying this is how well we are doing. At the moment, I'm not sure we can always say that. The e-service strategy will provide, I think, governments with the opportunity to get to know its citizens better. Performance and feedback is a key component of any customer service framework. And we're hoping within 5 years we will have a number of mechanisms through which we can engage with our citizenry in other venues other than when people want to initiate a service request or when they want to phone and complain. So we can get to know our citizens and they can have input on a more ongoing basis in the planning, delivery and evaluation of services across the corporation.